She lit a candle laced with a sedative to put her husband to sleep. Moments later, he was out cold. Then she leapt into the air, gracefully retrieving a sword that had been hidden in the rafters for years. The seemingly gentle wife was in fact a formidable sword master. Sensing danger approaching, she flung open every door in the house, ready to face the enemy in a deadly showdown. Jing and Ashton were silk merchants. Ashton only knew his wife had incredible knife skills. She could slice tofu into perfect cubes, but he had no idea that the sweet, soft-spoken woman he loved used to be the top assassin in a deadly organization. Tired of a life filled with blood and secrecy, she had vanished from the underworld, changing her name and escaping to a quiet village. There she met kind-hearted Ashton, and the two fell in love and married. One day, they went to a pawn shop, only to walk straight into a robbery. The robbers quickly took control of the place. Ashton, seeing their hard-earned savings about to be stolen, tried to intervene, but one of the robbers raised a sword to his throat. Just before the blade struck, Jing yanked him out of harm's way. In that moment of crisis, she finally dropped the act and fought back. For the first time in front of her husband, she snatched the robber's sword like lightning, though even then she held back, never revealing her true strength. It didn't take long before she had subdued all the robbers. She grabbed Ashton and they fled, but the fight had exposed her. Her old organization had finally found her. Back home, Jing was tense. She wanted to explain everything, but Ashton raised a hand to stop her. No questions, no accusations, as if nothing had ever happened. And for the first time, he let out a long relief sigh. The next morning, Jing found 3 black stones on the table, the organization's silent threat. They were coming for her tonight. At dusk, she lit the drug candle, letting Ashton fall into a deep sleep. Then she sat quietly in a chair waiting. The assassins arrived quickly. One of them, a woman, looked down at the sleeping Ashton and mocked her for marrying such an ordinary man. She slowly drew her sword and lunged at Jing, but Jing dodged effortlessly. The assassin was no match for her. Then their leader appeared, delivering one final ultimatum: hand over the hidden treasure by tomorrow night, and they would spare the couple. The next day, Jing returned to the graveyard and dug up the buried treasure. She intended to make the trade, but they betrayed her. They attacked her. She fought, but was outnumbered. Badly wounded, she barely made it home, collapsing into Ashton's arms, still clutching the food she'd bought for him. Ashton ate the food quietly. When he finished, he stood up and began digging into the floor. Soon the assassins arrived. The female assassin sneered. "Which one of you wants to die first?" Ashton remained calm, lifting the final brick. Beneath it lay an old, rusted sword. The assassins burst into laughter. Ignoring them, Ashton began sharpening the blade. His movements were fluid, precise, professional. In an instant, the laughter faded, their smiles vanished. One of the men threw a poison needle. Ashton flicked it away with ease. When the blade was finally honed, he wiped it clean with a cloth. The rusted sword now gleamed with deadly light, and that's when they realized this quiet, unassuming merchant was the deadliest man in the room. Ashton moved like lightning, cutting down every last assassin. They never stood a chance. Turns out the strongest warrior had been right beside her all along. She didn't have to face the darkness alone.